Hi, this is Ron Gannett from beautiful Saddlebrook, Arizona. And I've often wondered, what is the real basis for some of the conflict that we go through in life with people? What is it that drives us as family members, friends, to disagree and to be at odds with each other? I was journaling Mark chapter 15 this morning, where Jesus is standing before Pilate. And Pilate turns to the religious leaders and says, you guys are envious of Jesus. And I thought that's why they had conflict, because they wanted what Jesus had. They wanted to know what Jesus knew. They wanted to be able to teach like Jesus could teach. They wanted the love and affection of the masses that only Jesus could get. And my friends, as I reflect on that, I think so much of the conflict that comes between us as brothers and sisters and family members is jealousy. It's envy for what someone has. And as I read that story, I thought, what is the face of jealousy? What does jealousy and envy look like? Well, we're told in that story that in Mark 15 that the religious leaders worked all through the night to create a plan. They worked behind the back of Jesus. And then when Pilate comes forward and says, what do you want me to do with him? They said, crucify him, put him to death. In fact, they chose a man named Barabbas, who was a murderer, over Jesus, who was a lover. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And then when Pilate is confused and maybe hesitant to put Jesus to death, they get mob action. And they start raising up the crowds to yell, crucify him, we want Barabbas, we don't want Jesus. Then after Pilate agrees, they put a crown of thorns, a purple robe on him, and they start to mock him and bow down. And then their mockery turns to brutality. They start to beat him on the head. They start to spit on him. And then they took him out and they crucified him. I thought, wow, jealousy and envy is very powerful. It breaks dear relationships because people feel like they can't compete with you, so they try to beat you up. But I was driving along one time up in northern Ontario, and I saw a sign outside of a nursing station. And it was a sign that people would read as they came into the nursing station for help. And it said, many difficult roads lead to beautiful places. And the difficult road that Christ went on led to Calvary, led to the cross. It brought salvation for you and for me. And, many times the difficulty that we face with other people, the face of envy and jealousy that comes upon us, it hurts. It's difficult. But God maybe is leading us and taking us down a path to something that is beautiful, that will change our lives and enhance others. You can't control those jealous people in your lives, and we all have them. You have them, I have them. But my friends, look beyond them to see the good things that God is trying to do in your life.